Yeah, of course, matches return in Qatar today at the ongoing 2022 FIFA World Cup, and it will be Croatia versus Brazil and the Netherlands versus Argentina. Welcome to yesterday at the World Cup on Nigeria Super Fans Forum. My name is Olafemi Ashaolu. Today we'll be, of course, talking about the two games, and of course, yesterday the coaches, of course, they addressed journalists in terms of preparation, their team's preparation for the two upcoming games. So the boys have gone home now in Qatar, and what you have left are the men. Welcome. James Agberebi joins me. Together we'll be doing all of this today. James, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Femi. Always a pleasure being on the show.
Right.
Sorry I couldn't be physically in the studio, but the show must go on.
Yeah, okay. So after 2 days of rest in Qatar, football returns today. And James, let's talk about Croatia versus Brazil. And of course, Ivan Perisic has said in football, anything is possible. We've seen what the Brazilians have done in this competition, and they've been predicted by a supercomputer to win this tournament. But Ivan Perisic is saying that in football, you can't just never say never. James, do you think we're going to see another upset? Because I do know. I might not be thinking in the same line of thought with Perisic, but I don't know whether you agree with me.
Yeah, you know, just like what you said, the football, football is like biscuits. You never know where it's going to crack. And, the record between Brazil and Croatia, I think that always
favors the Brazilians. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we've seen that some records, like we always say, records are meant to be broken one day. Japan has never defeated Germany in their past meetings. They achieved that this season, this World Cup, and you know, so anything can happen. Though you want to give it to Brazil because of what they've been doing in the World Cup. So their last game against South Korea, how they dismantled Min Song and his compatriots 4-1. First half 4-0 already. So the crowds would have watched that game, and I don't think they want to do these kind of mistakes the South Koreans did, because they have experienced heads in their team, and they, you know, so they should be able to contain the Brazilians. Whether they will be able to do that for the full duration of the game, that is another matter entirely.
Okay.
You know, so it's going to be very tough for Croatia, no doubt, and we cannot rule out upsets. You know, so getting to this quarterfinal, it shows that they're a good side. They've not lost a game, the Croats. You know, so it shows that they're a team that knows how to set themselves up, and you know, so for me, Brazil should expect a tough encounter, but I will still want to lean on the 5 times champion because of their firepower. You know, so I don't know how the Croatian defense will be able to hold out. How long they will be able to hold out? They will be depending on the likes of Luka Modric, Dejan Lovren, and Ivan Perisic. So I don't know. I think Brozovic, I think the Italian Inter Milan player, is part of the squad.
Yeah.
You know, so the Chelsea midfielder, Kovacic.
Yeah.
So they have they have their own experienced head too, who can do something for them. But whether they will be able to weather the storm, the onslaught that will come at them, that's another thing entirely. But I'm not ruling out upset. It's possible that it might happen.
Okay. James, if this tournament, if you compare the two sides, okay, let's head-to-head, they've played 4 games, Brazil have won 3. Now, this tournament, you will see that it wasn't the same Croatia that we saw sparkle in 2018. They are aging, and that has, of course, been evident in the way they play. And coming against a very, very youthful, energetic Brazilian side, when you have a Vinicius Junior running at you, you have Rafinha running at you, you have Richarlison running at you, you have Neymar running at you, I do not know where you're going to hide. I'm expecting a one-sided encounter where Croatia will have to sit back, soak the pressure like we saw against Switzerland, Brazil-Switzerland, and it ended 2-0. So I think it's going to be a one-sided affair. Okay, let's talk about the second game, the Netherlands versus Argentina. Lee Van Gaal was saying that they have a score to settle. against Argentina. If you see under Louis van Gaal, the Netherlands, they've been on a very impressive run. They've played 19 matches unbeaten. 14 of that has been victory, and 5 they've drawn. Now that will tell you that. They're also a very youthful side. If you see, it is typical with LVG. Even at the club side, you see he likes to play with a very youthful side. And an Argentine team that has not really sparkled, that has just been managing to, game after game, just scrapping, just to get the victory. I think I'll give the Netherlands the win. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think I'll do that line too. The Netherlands, they play as a team. I know LVG is someone that loves playing with the youths. No matter how young you are, if you are good, then you are good enough to play, to face the best. So for Argentina, we've seen how they fared so far in the World Cup. But one thing that stands out for them is the over-reliance on Messi. Once Messi is not ticking, the rest of the team just struggle along. And going up against the Dutch team that they play as a team, they are compact. They have different players who can hurt you from different angles. So it's not as if there's one standout player that always influences their game. So Argentina, they have their work cut out. It's going to be very tough. Look at the round of 16 game against Australia. It was like a narrow escape for them. They
of
almost
course.
in the 9 minutes, because at some point, we as if the Australians were all over them and they were just hanging on for their life. So how much more when they're going to come up against is sound, compact, well organized Dutch side. I remember in 2014, it was Argentina that knocked Holland out in the semi-final, wrapping out.
Yeah, that's why I said they have a score to settle.
Exactly. They've come a long way.
Yeah.
I remember it's 1974. The Dutch team defeated Argentina 2-0 in the days of the late Johan Cruyff. In 1978, Argentina defeated Holland in the final 3-1. They met in 1998. Remember the fantastic goal scored by
Dennis Beckham.
Dennis Beckham. Then 2006 they played. It ended in a draw. So they have history in the World Cup, and now the knockout stage. So I will lean towards the Dutch team. Based on we've seen the way they've played, they're a compact side. They're going to give any team a run for their money, and Argentina is going to face I believe this is going to be their #1 test at the World Cup. Finally, they faced the likes of Mexico, but that Mexico was a very poor side, so it didn't really test how good Argentina is.
Yeah.
A real test today, so we're going to see whether Messi is going to continue to carry the team on his shoulder.
Okay.
Or we're going to see the likes of Lautaro Martinez, the likes of Angel Di Maria, the Pau. We're going to see all these guys, whether they are going to come out and show what they can do, because we can't continue relying on Messi to always to do things for them, because once Messi is shut out, it affects the team seriously.
Okay.
So for me, I'm giving it to the Netherlands. They're going to really give the Argentines a really tough game, and it's going to be a slim margin win for me. I'm predicting a Dutch win.
Okay, I'm talking about Lautaro Martinez. Of course, the angel his agent revealed that he's been playing through injections at this World Cup. That thing can be very, very painful. And of course, yesterday, the issue between Angel Di Maria and Louis van Gaal came up again, and LVG said he was very saddened that Angel Di Maria described him as the worst coach he's ever played under. Okay, James, let's talk about this supercomputer who has predicted Brazil to win their 6th world title. And some of the predictions, I don't know, maybe just very briefly, we'll just talk about it. He says that France will beat England. Do you agree? Very quickly.
Yes. I'll go with France, yes.
Okay, and he also favors Portugal to beat Morocco. Of course, we'll be doing a preview of that game, but the supercomputer favors Portugal to beat Morocco. Do you also agree?
Yes, I think Morocco, they've gotten to their bus stop. But I know it may sound harsh, but you can't playing very big opponent back to back like that. I mean, I don't know whether they've recovered from the game against Spain, and they're now facing another top European side. So if I don't know how they were able to come out now to play, but this Portuguese side cannot compare them with the Spanish side, so I'll go with Portugal.
James, I hope you're not the supercomputer anyway. Okay, it also said that he said France will face Portugal in the semis, and he said Argentina will beat Holland. That one, I'm sure you won't agree.
No, I don't agree.
Okay, so. Okay, so it went on to make semi-final pairing. He said France will face Brazil in the final, and eventually the colossal will win the tournament. Okay, James, before we go, let's talk about so far the Qatar World Cup has been without controversy, apart from maybe one or two issues regarding referees on the pitch. But it's been almost each free tournament in Qatar, yes. And we also saw that the 974 stadium is already being dismantled. And we've seen innovation at this tournament. James, very quickly as we round up.
Yes, they already announced that after once games are concluded, they are going to dismantle it. So they kept to their word, and that's a functioning country. They set out their plans, and they're able to carry it out. Nobody, if they didn't inform people that it's a stadium that was arranged, nobody would have known. So for me, it has been a very good World Cup. Qatar has given us a very well organized competition. No incidents, no. Not as if it has been perfect, but we've not heard any terrible stuff like fans fighting, drinking issues. You know who I'm referring to.
Yeah.
So the fans, they've been well behaved. So before the World Cup, everything was spelled out that if you do this or if you do that, this is what will happen. I've not heard of any arrest or trouble or anything. So for me, Qatar World Cup has been a very good showing. Except for the VAR has been bastardized in this World Cup. It has not been good one. Some calls, penalty calls, some incident.
Okay.
It has not been. It has not been nice, So, but for me, so far, I will give the World Cup. Let me say 80%. 80%. That should be good enough.
Okay.
It has not, like I said, it has not been a perfect World Cup, but it has not been the worst. It has been very, very okay. And so that's just it. And the one good thing I like about the World Cup, the upsets. The upsets were top notch.
Yeah.
They expected it. Saudi Arabia started it. Morocco too did the same thing to Spain. Japan did the same thing to
Germany,
Spain and Germany, so it has been very interesting. South Korea defeated Portugal, so it has been very interesting in terms of upsets, and that's what to always look forward to when in major tournaments when the smaller teams tumble the big teams. So that's just
okay. All right. Thank you, James Agberebi, for joining us on yesterday at the World Cup today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Remy.
Okay, so our fans around the world, of course, you can look forward to a preview of that game between Morocco and Portugal. I remember after their famous 3-0 win over Spain in the quarterfinal, and of course, Luis Enrique has been sacked as the coach of Spain after their round of 16 elimination in the hands of Morocco. So we'll be bringing you a preview of that game because Morocco is the only African representative that is still left at the tournament. So we'll look at how the guys have recovered, the injured guys have recovered, and how the team is preparing for this game is going to be a battle. So please look out for our preview of that game. So until we'll see you later, I remain Oluwafemi Ashaolu. Bye for now.